Hello.
Mhm.
Okay. Hello. Welcome. Today is May 8th, May 8th, 2020, and this is a pleasure for me, a double pleasure, because it was, I remember a couple of years ago, a young man, give me 1 second because I need to adjust this as well while we are talking, just to make sure I have do everything right here. Today we are starting our book club. We call it the Leaders Book Club. And
Yes.
this is my distinct honor to start that book club with an experienced professional person that I've met a couple of years ago. I met Dorothy King. It was a Friday morning at Club Awesome Toastmasters Club in Coral Spring. And usually at a Toastmasters Club, they give you an opportunity to present yourself, what you do. And here that young lady stood up and presented herself as a book club leader. And since then, not only is she still doing it, but she has been an example that today I am following. And today, Dorothy King, welcome to the Leaders Book Club. This is our very first one. Our conversation will be why reading, why a book club, and also whatever we can know about you and about your experience. Welcome to
Absolutely.
the Leaders Book Club with Roosevelt.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All the pleasure is mine. How did you start your book club?
Wonderful question. Wonderful question. First of all, I want to congratulate you on this awesome journey that you are starting. I am just so excited. And I just want to congratulate the members for seeing it fit to be a part of this community of the Leaders Book Club. I can tell you of a surely you are on a wonderful journey. And thank you for the question, Roosevelt. How did I start the book club? Well, many years ago, we're talking about maybe around 15 years ago, I was working with a debt consolidating company. And during our lunchtime, there were a couple of young ladies where we would pick different books from the Holy Bible. So whether it be the book of John, the book of Matthew, Genesis, Exodus, we would just choose different books, put them in a little container, and then we would pick a paper. So whichever book we would pick, that would be the book that we would read for the month. And then during our lunchtime, we would try to get together and go over the scriptures, whether we had questions, etc. It was just such a wonderful time for us to indulge in the Bible. Now,
Wow, that
after
could
that,
have been a good title, Lunch and Weed. Yeah.
yes, it would have been perfect. You are right. So that's what it actually was, lunch and read.
Mm.
And after that, maybe like around 2 more years after that, I recall losing my job. And while I was home, I was so excited. Can you imagine
Mm.
losing your job, but excited? You may ask why. It was because now I have that opportunity, the opportunity that I've been longing for to have time to read all these books that I had accumulating. So I was so excited reading each book. And I was like, God, this is like a answer to prayer. Now I have time on my hand that I
Mhm.
can truly get into the books. And that's what I did. I just started to read until I felt there was a call, not
Mm.
only to benefit me, but to benefit others. I was so overwhelmed with the wealth of knowledge that I was gaining from these books that I could not help but want to share it with others. And so I went to my spiritual leader, my pastor, and I
Mhm.
told him about the vision of starting a book club that will get people together to read great books that will empower, equip, and encourage them to live their best life. And that's how we started 15 years ago. And here we are.
You said 10 years.
Well, it was 15 years ago from the debt consolidating company, but 13 years now officially starting the book club, doing His Will Book Club.
Wow. So how do
Yeah,
you organize it? Is it a monthly book club? What are the activities that you have around your book club?
absolutely. Great question. Now, what we usually do, we assign books based on age group. So we have books for the adults, for teenagers, and for our toddlers, children. And basically, each age group have their books assigned to them. They have the
Mhm.
opportunity to read on their leisure, on their own time at home. And then every other month, I do a book review Facebook Live. So no matter where you're located around the entire world, and no matter what your age group is, you can be a part of the book club. I often love to say membership is free. Your only obligation is to read the book assigned and share the information with others. So yes, any age group, wherever you are, you read the assigned books that we assign for that particular month, and then we meet every other month. Like we just went over a book review on last week, Saturday. We
Mhm.
did a book review for the month of March and April. So we just started our May and June's book, and we're going to have a book review the end of June Facebook Live. In this way, we're able to reach you wherever you're located. Usually, we would have like a gathering where we
Mhm.
actually go to a building and we separate the age group with book club leaders. So the children would go with a leader to go over their book, what they have read. The teenagers would go in one section and the adults would stay in one room. And then at the end of that book review, we would come together like in the main sanctuary, or if we're at a park or at a hotel, we would all gather back together and then share. We would literally go
Now,
up and share.
now in this age, this new age we are living, in this age of COVID-19, the age of coronavirus, social distancing, how do you organize your book club since you cannot be together at one
Absolutely.
place?
Yes, wonderful question. So what we do again, the book club members, they are connected through WhatsApp. They're also connected through our book club's Facebook page. So we have different things that we send through the Facebook page as encouragements each day. We also communicate through the WhatsApp group, and we have an email communication outlet also. And we are on Instagram. So they have all these different mediums through which they can stay connected as a community. And
Mhm.
when the book review time is scheduled, like for example, the next one is going to be the last Saturday in June, that's where they're able to connect with that book review where we go over the information via Facebook Live.
Mhm.
And then we post the video on YouTube, and we also post it on Instagram and in the WhatsApp groups. And this way they get the information, even though we're not physically together, we can through social media outlets.
What I get from what you said, Dorit, is that beyond the get together of the book club, beyond the reading, there is
Mhm.
also back office work, back office
Yes,
social media being done to keep people abreast of
yes,
the activities coming, and that reinforce the glue of your community. The book that you
absolutely.
read is one glue, but getting together through social media is also another step in your getting together. So
Yes.
you are listening or you are following Roosevelt conversation, and today I'm having a conversation with my dear friend Doet Kin, and Doet is a leader. She started a book club 13, 15 years ago, and
Mhm.
today she is the very first personality I am meeting through the Leaders Book Club, and I will steal some ideas from her in your favor because the Leaders Book Club, so far, it will be what we want it to be. And that's what leadership is. There is no set model. We will follow models, but also we will create our own path. This is
Yes.
Pathfinder. Leadership means finding your way. Now,
Mhm.
Doret, we start with the book club, but usually I would like for my friends following you to know you better. If you
Yes.
don't mind, I will invite you to tell us who you are. What is your story? Who is Doret?
Oh, listen, that would take probably a good while. However, in a nutshell, I first can say that I'm a child of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And yes, and I am a mother, I am a wife. I also own several businesses that I operate from home. I
Mm-hmm.
am an evangelist in the church, a community leader, definitely Toastmaster, distinguished
Mm-hmm.
Toastmaster. But most of all, I would say that Dorette is an individual who enjoy helping people to come into knowledge of what their God-given purpose is and
Mhm.
how to activate it and live their best life. That is my makeup. That's my genetic. That's who I am. I am an individual that loves to push you, to encourage you, and to help you to realize that you can be your best self. So whether you are a member in my family, a great friend like Roosevelt, when you come in contact with me, you're about to come in contact with destiny.
And that
Absolutely.
is the feeling I had the very first day. I remember you were leaving. It was 8:30 in that parking lot, and that was some times ago. And then you gave me a flyer and inviting me to your book club.
Yes.
And since then, we have been in contact in several ways through
Yes.
Toastmasters or also through business ventures. But
Yes.
what I understand also is that you are from Jamaica,
I am.
beautiful island, one love.
I am. Thank you.
What part of Jamaica are you from?
I'm from Clarendon.
Oh,
Clarendon.
Clarendon. Oh, my
Yes.
favorite one. I really like St. Catherine, St.
Okay.
Elizabeth. I have a dear friend in Portland, but I had an opportunity. Do you know Kingston?
Yes,
You
absolutely. As a matter of fact, a lot of time when I fly into Jamaica, I go through Kingston.
really?
Yes,
Let
it's
me ask
closer
you a
to
couple of
Clarendon.
places that you might. I invite you to tell us more in your story. Do you know Coronation Market?
I have heard about it. However, I
Okay.
migrated from Jamaica when I was 14 years of age.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't
Yes,
get a
I had
chance
an
to explore.
opportunity to visit Spanish Town
Yes,
and Coronation Market, and this place reminds me quite well, Port-au-Prince. This is where you feel the buzz of the city
yes,
with all those buses coming from the countryside, bringing my ackee, my
yes,
my foods, and also the way people talk. It seems to me, if I cannot hear them. If I cannot hear them, I can say this is Haitians. I can say this is exactly the same people, the same
yes,
visual expression, and
hmm
so forth. So at
yes.
14, did you have some schooling in the island?
I did. I actually migrated when I was in the third form in
Mhm.
Clarendon College. This Clarendon College was a college then. Now, third form in Jamaica is equal to being, for example, in the ninth grade in high school here. So just to give you a little bit of timeline, so that was
Mhm.
around the time that I migrated to the US in
Mhm.
ninth grade in high school. So I did
So
have a bit of schooling there.
when you came here in the US, what did you see? How did you feel? Was it different?
Absolutely different. As a matter of fact, as a young girl growing up in Jamaica, the US would be spoken about with such delight and interest. We,
Mm.
we, we were told stories, for example, that when you're in the United States, if you should walk on the street and there should be a broken bottle or something and it would hurt your feet, you could sue the whole country and become very wealthy. These are just some promising things that you would hear. You would hear about the US being a country of opportunity, that dreams come through in the US. So there were so many wonderful things that were spoken about the US that I have come to learn to be true. So when I came here, I came with a lot of expectancy. I came here believing for great things, even from that very young age. I just knew that it would be a country that would be able to help me to accomplish whatever dreams or visions that I had, even from that tender age.
You know what? That reminds me when I came here the very, 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 very first time. I was not 14, I was maybe 20, 21. And a
Okay.
friend of mine told me that there are two United States, two. There is one, you come and visit and you go back to your home and you would like to see your home like this place. And there
Mm,
is the real one, when you come and you call this place your home. This is
mm.
where the rubber meets the road. This is
Yes.
where, like, have you seen this movie, The Matrix, where
I
the
have.
oh, you have to.
Oh, the Matrix.
That is The Matrix. That is an amazing movie,
Okay.
which will tell you that sometimes what you see is not what it is.
Mm,
And now in that COVID-19, in that moment, we really need to go back to reality, and that's why reading is so important.
it is.
At 14, when you came here, how did you discover the passion of the words, the passion of bury your nose and your eyes into the paper, into a page. How do you flip pages, turn pages, and have fun?
Well, at the age of 14, I must admit that I didn't have the passion for reading. I think, like any other teenager, you're going about your everyday life trying to navigate through high school or just that age period in general. I believe
Mhm.
it could be at the age of around 20, maybe 21, that the passion for reading starts to
Oh, that was a
develop.
couple of years ago.
Yes.
I had two.
A couple many years ago.
Oh, okay. I did not
Yes.
see that. Now you're
Well,
telling me.
but thank you. Thank
You're
you.
very
But
welcome.
oh, thank you so much. So I would say maybe like around 21 when I started to come into myself as a young adult. I actually started living on my own at the age of 19, having the accessibility to start really knowing myself.
Hmm.
Living on your own helps you to start discovering yourself. And I find that I
Mm.
was an individual who loves to have my alone time. And I'm always seeking knowledge and way of improving myself. And so therefore, books became my friends.
Mm.
Books became my friends. That's where the turning of the pages began, wanting to learn about different countries, wanted to learn about different topics. I believe
Hmm.
that's where it originated, maybe around the age 21, after
You see,
starting living on my
21
own.
is that means not only you are mature, but this is something you did by design. This is
Mm,
not forced upon you.
yeah.
This is something you yourself you decide. And
Hmm.
as you said, you are seeking wisdom. And
Yeah.
seeking wisdom means you yourself you got a burning desire
Yes.
inside to go outside and seek it. And
Hmm.
that's exactly how was your life at 21. What was the question that you were asking yourself?
Beautiful question. That's wonderful. That's gonna launch us into really the the origination of even the very first book that we read, because after high school and starting college, I was in that period where I wanted to know my major. What do
Mm,
I really want to do with my life? What destination am I heading into? And when you find yourself in that position, you start to seek knowledge, you start to seek counsel, guidance. And like I said, books became that route for me, that medium through which I was getting that information. It was shortly after I gave my life to the Lord. And of course, I wanted to learn more about Him. So I did not just limit myself to the Bible, but I knew
mhm,
there were other inspirational books that would empower me and equip me and inspire me. So again,
mm,
from that thirst for wanting to learn more and wanting to get an idea of what direction my life was going in based on my passions, that created that curiosity to get that knowledge from books. Because, of course, I was in college focusing on studying, but I did not allow my knowledge to be limited through that medium. So I think it really starts from wanting to know exactly what direction I was going in. What is my purpose? Why am I here? And
mm.
books really gave me an opening idea in regards to that.
I have my friend Townsend. He is an author, and he said that there are two main days in your life: the day
Mm,
you were born and the day you discover
discover why.
why. Why are
Yes.
you here? That is a
Yes.
big question that we need to
Yes.
make our own assessment. And
Yes.
at 21, you ask yourself these questions. Young girl born in Clarendon at
Yes.
14, you move. That means you let your friends who you were, and you came here in that big maze, in
Yes.
that big apple. You were lost, as maybe some of my friends told me they were.
Yes.
And at 21, you were discovering yourself. You were
Mm,
searching,
yes.
soul searching, mind searching,
Mhm.
inside looking. And
Yes.
then you discover the power of words.
Yes.
And not only you discover them for yourself, but now you made it your
Mission.
mission
Yes.
to help others, to attract others to book clubs.
Yes.
Now, professionally, what is your path? I know you're a
Oh,
business person. I will give you opportunity to tell us what you do. But at 21, you were at school, and now what happened?
Absolutely. Well, wrapping up college at that age, and then immediately I started working for a debt consolidating company. That's where I told you I met some of my friends, and that story continued. And then I studied psychology in college, and
Mhm,
I ended up working with the clerk of courts in Broward County in the mental health division for a little while. And
mhm,
in being in that industry and that environment, again, another area of passion that I have is to be able to see people knowing what their rights are and to
mm.
be able to stand for their rights. So I've always gravitated to the legal
And
industry.
from Jamaica, I
Yes.
understand that.
Stand up
Stand
for
up
your
for
rights.
your rights.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So
I do
yes,
as well.
yes. We're having so much fun here, Roosevelt.
We should have. It should be
Yes,
fun. Because
yes.
if it is not fun, you will
It's
not
not worth
continue
it.
doing it. My
Absolutely.
friend Aristotle, he
Mhm.
has been born before me, but his legacy, he said, the
Continue.
aim of life is joy. We
Mm,
don't need sadness.
no.
We don't
Mm-mm.
need apathy. Sometimes they happen. And
Yeah.
as my other friend Paul, Apostle Paul, said,
Mm,
I learn to be content and I
yeah.
in whatever state I am. But the
Beautiful.
decision to be content, the decision to have fun is
Mm-hmm.
something you decide
Mm,
prior. And that's
decision.
why this Leaders Book Club is more about having fun. It's
Yes.
about the fun of sharing what
Mm,
you have learned in seeking wisdom. I like the way you put it. Let me
yeah.
read a couple of quotes I get from this book.
Turn the page.
Turn the page. Turn the page. This is more about how to read like a top leaders. And you will tell me if you agree with
Mm-hmm.
the assessment of the author. And I'll be glad to pick your marvelous, your outstanding brain on a couple of quotes. Leaders are readers, and great leaders are nearly always great readers. What's your thought on that?
Leaders are readers.
And
Leaders, I
nearly
believe.
all great leaders are great readers.
Absolutely. A leader is an individual who obviously leads. And in order for you to lead, hopefully you should always be a step ahead. And in order
Mhm.
for you to be a step ahead, that requires for you to be a step ahead in regards to knowledge, in regards to insights, vision, etc. And what reading does for a leader is that it broadens the leader's horizon. It opens up the leader to opportunities and
Mhm.
insights that enables and empowers them to lead whatever group, organization, or even their very home, or even their very life. So when the quote says that leaders are individuals who are always seeking knowledge. They're never at a place where they feel as if they have arrived or have attained, but they have always opened up themselves for greater heights. And books allow leaders to do that.
Wow. One thing that I like in what you said, Dorothy, is that in reading, you can travel space and time. I can be in Fort Lauderdale and the book that I'm reading now, and the author is from South Africa or someone from Jamaica. So that means I can travel. And time, I call all authors my friend. Aristotle is my
Yes.
friend. When I'm reading it, is by my side. And I have a question from one of our friends on YouTube. What books are you currently reading?
Absolutely. I am so happy they asked. I made mention earlier that when we started our book club, we started with the Holy Bible, right?
Mm.
Now, the other book that we read in our book club, it's called The Purpose Driven Life by
Oh,
Rick
which was
Warren.
mm.
Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. Some of the other books that we have read, Become a Better You by Joel
Mm.
Osteen. Another book, one of my favorite authors here, John C. Maxwell, The
Mm.
17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork. And then you have other books, just to introduce you to a few that we've been reading, Financial Peace
Mm.
by Dave Ramsey. How about The Principles and Power of Vision?
Mm.
That's a great book for leaders, right? Because leaders need to have great vision. and then Your Best Life Now by Joel Osteen. Let's see if I have another one here. This is one of my favorite authors. Releasing Your Potential by Dr. Miles Monroe. Tell me you know Dr. Miles Monroe Roosevelt.
Oh yes, I do. He's from the Bahamas, and as a
Yes.
matter of fact, I was reading a chapter on purpose in that book from Owen Woodward, and I will read you a quote from Dr. Miles Monroe right here.
Perfect.
The poor man, the rich man, the black man, the white man, every person has a dream in his heart. Your vision may already be clear to you, or it may still be buried somewhere deep in your heart, waiting to be discovered. Fulfilling this dream is what gives you purpose and meaning to life. Finding
Fulfilling
your
the dream.
purpose.
Yes.
So your reading is diversified. First, you start with the Bible, and I
Yes.
can't wait to have a conversation with you about the Bible. But my Bible is not as beautiful as yours, because mine is torn apart and it is written all over, and I cannot travel without it.
That's a good thing. That means
Even
that
if
it
it's
has been worked.
heavy,
Yes.
even if it's heavy, but I have to have it. Why? Because
Absolutely.
this is, I don't know.
It's your
I start
roadmap.
my day right there.
It's your roadmap. You have to have it, unless you can't go
Yes, this
anywhere.
is my GPS, the way you said it. And also, you mentioned John Maxwell, the 17 laws of,
Teamwork.
yes, of teamwork. And teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and Joel Osteen, a couple of books from Joel Osteen. That means this is self-development, leadership. What kind of fiction book do you read?
You know, to be honest with you, we haven't indulged in any fiction books as yet. We have been focusing more on the inspirational books. So I'm open to suggestions.
Oh
We're always
yes,
open to suggestions.
I like Charles Dickens, The
Okay.
Tales of Two Cities.
All
It is
right.
the best of the time. It is the worst of the times. What I like with fiction, I was not a fictional reader. I didn't read any novel. But nowadays, what I understand is that fiction is like art. It helps you
Mm-hmm.
transport your mind with other creative minds. When
Mm-hmm.
you're reading Arthur Nathaniel, when you're reading Mark Twain, the Huckleberry Farm. So there are a couple of books, and also you need to have what I call very specific books on
Mm-hmm.
finance, on philosophy, and
Yes.
theology. I, I I enjoy reading several books at the same time. Several
Wonderful.
books at the same time. And when my mind is tired with this one, then I go. Now I'm also reading uh, World Order with Kissinger,
Okay.
understanding deeper the world order, what happened in
Mm-hmm.
international relations with China, with the US. Because when I drink deeply in those sources, they give me the perspectives to see things not at the short term on what's happening now. A lot of
Yes.
people are seeing the coronavirus as something happening now. Yes, it is happening now, but you need tools longer.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend Newton said, Archimedes, my friend said, give me a lever long enough,
Mm-hmm.
then I can up the world. And you need that lever of thinking. When we're
Yes.
talking about famine, when we're talking about great negative things happening to the world. Now,
Mm,
if we go to the Bible, if we read history, if we go back to the Black Plague, if we read and
mm,
understand the Spanish flu, if we
yes.
read about SARS, H1N1, what
Mm-hmm.
that gives us the
Broad.
perspectives of understanding what is happening now
Mm-hmm.
instead of living it right now. And that's what reading brings to you. Reading brings that breadth of
Yes.
understanding, of
Yes.
thinking.
Yes.
And And that's why I'm so happy. Today is my birthday. This is May the 8th,
Is
and
it
this
your
is my
birthday?
gift to you.
Is
Yes,
today your
that's
birthday?
why today is my birthday.
Today's
I
my
was
son's
born.
birthday.
Really? What is
Yes,
oh, your son is a Taurus. He should be a special one.
he is. He's my firstborn. His name is Elijah. So here we go. We have another thing in
Elijah.
common here. Yes.
Wow. Elijah is the one opening the gates.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
you're listening to Roosevelt Jean-Francois, and my conversation today with Dorette Kin. Dorette is a mentor. I will call her like this because she pioneered a book club 15 years ago in
Yes.
a parking lot from a job
Hmm.
while she was on the phone collecting money. You know, those collectors calling you, harassing you sometimes. And don't say this is what you were doing, but usually you need a break. Even
Actually,
some harassers need breaks sometimes.
yeah. Well, actually, I
And
was in the area where I was helping individuals to consolidate their debt to offset the
ah,
calls from the debt collectors.
I understand that. So, okay, you were on the other side, which is a lot
Yes,
better. I really appreciate this part of it. And what you
absolutely.
were doing with some of your friends is that you were reading while you
Yes,
were eating, and
yes,
you did both in your own time. That
mhm,
was an investment. Then
yes,
you had to leave this position, and you carried with you that lunch and read moment, and you
mhm.
started book club. Can you tell us more about the title of the book club, and where, if I were to participate, where can I reach you?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking, Roosevelt. The name of our book club, Doing His Will Book Club. So, doing God's will. Doing God's will. What is God's will for you? All the books that you will read, every encounter that you will have in the book club, again, is steering you in regards to your purpose, fulfilling your destiny, having God's will to be accomplished in your life on an everyday basis. If you would love to be a part of our book club, no matter where you're located in the world, area does not restrict you. Finance doesn't restrict you. There's no membership fee. Simply visit our book club's page at Doing His Will Book Club on Facebook. Like the page, send us a message, let us know that you officially want to be a part of our community. We'll go ahead and add you to our WhatsApp if you would like to be a part of that, add you to our Instagram, have you to connect with us through Instagram. And of course, you just simply start to read the books that are assigned. We are presently reading Joyce Meyer's book. It's called Finding the Confidence to Fulfill Your Destiny: How to Succeed at Being You. And what a perfect time to have a book like this, How to Succeed at Being You. So this is the book that our adults are reading presently. Our children are reading the children's Bible with various stories from the Bible that they can pull different principles from. Our teenagers are reading another book by Stephen Covey. And basically, we're just encouraging, equipping, and helping each other, your entire family. We love to say that we are family friendly. So, no matter what age group your family is made up of, you can be a part of our book club. You can also contact us at 754-245-4574. And we'll be delighted to give you more information regarding our book club and, again, how you can be a part of this awesome community.
I'll
Thank
invite you
you.
to repeat the phone number because
Yes.
you go fast in my mind. I do not recall things as fast as you pronounced it. Let me make sure I pick your phone number and follow up with you regarding your book club. What is the number again, Dorette
It
Kin?
Yes, it is 754-245-4574. And I'm going to go ahead and put it here next to my name so you can have it in the record.
Yes. I am having fun. I am having a conversation, and this is our very first
Yes.
Leaders Book Club. And today, May 8th, day special for you. This is my gift to you. And this is our gift to you to have a conversation. Everything starts with a conversation. It starts
Mhm.
with a conversation about who we are, telling our stories. It also starts with understanding other people's stories. When we read
Yes.
books, when we read biographies, I enjoy biographies.
Yes.
And Isaacson, his work with Einstein, his work with Ben Franklin, those are outstanding books helping you to understand how people live their lives. And you will see everybody had a dream. Every
Mm,
single leader had some big issues, challenges,
yes.
obstacles, setbacks, and how they circumvented and
Mm,
how they did around it and how they survive and thrive despite
yes.
of their shortcomings.
Absolutely.
And Dorette, now how do you read? Let's say you start with that book. Okay, you have the book. How do you start reading? When you have a book, this is a project.
Yes.
How do you go around your book?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm always gravitated to obviously the title, like many people are. And the cover of the book give me a little bit of insight. They always said, don't read the book by the cover, right? But I'm always
Yes,
gravitated. Yes,
and
I'm
don't
always
judge it by its cover
don't
neither.
judge it. Don't judge it by the cover. However, it's so very vital that authors make sure that the title of their book is very gravitating. People tend to read where they're at
Mm-hmm,
in life, whatever stage they're at in life. So
mm-hmm,
if you notice the book that we're reading right now, it says Finding Confidence to Fulfill Your Destiny, How to Succeed at Being You. This is such a vital book for us to read, especially at the time that we're living in with the COVID-19. A lot of people are trying to figure out what is their destiny and how can they
mm,
succeed at being themselves? What is their purpose? What are their gifts, their talents, etc. So when I look at a book like this, not only am I captivated by the cover, I would immediately, if I'm not familiar with the author, want to get a little bit of knowledge in regards to who is this person that is downloading in me, right? What is their background? What is their experience? What are some of the other books that they have read? So I would quickly go to the back just to get myself a little bit familiar with the author and maybe go online and do a little bit of research also. Because again, not because the title of a book may seem enticing, it's important to know the character and the demeanor and
mm-hmm,
the person that is, actually going to be feeding you, right?
mm,
So of
mm-hmm,
course, the cover, learning about the author, and I would jump to the table of content quickly. Of course, I want to read their introduction, etc. But I would jump to the table of content because, of course, that is going to provide me some information in regards to the subject areas that they're going to cover. Now, one may
mm-hmm,
say, do you read from the beginning all the way to the back of the book? It all depends on the type of book that you're reading. Like, say, for example, in this book that we're reading now, if I go to the table of content, it's covering topics, for example, like self acceptance, your self image, confidence is required. I may not read in the order that it is written, but I may
mm-hmm,
go to one of the titles that really gravitate to my spirit at the time and
mm-hmm.
start to get some information from it. Then if that particular chapter refer back to another chapter for me to get better insight, then I'll read that chapter. So it all depends on where you're at and what you're trying to accomplish from the book that will
Do
give
you
you an
read?
idea.
Do you read with a pen? Do you underline? Do you take notes? Do you
Yes.
write in your books? Because some people, I remember when I was in maybe middle classes, my mother said, "Don't write in the book because this is something which is not proper to write in a book." But now I cannot. Now
Oh,
this is totally different. I My book, you will never want to read it. And if I read this book, I will never want to read another copy than the first copy that I underline
yes.
because this is mine. I make the book mine. How do you make the book yours?
It sounds as if you're talking about me right there, Roosevelt, because I do the same and I cannot help it. I showed you my Bible a while ago and it might seem to be in great order. Why? Because I recently got that one. Because when I tell
Mhm,
you I'm turning pages, I'm highlighting, I'm underlining, what I find very, very strategic about that method of reading where you're underlining as you go, you know, the Bible talk about writing a vision. And as you read, you're
mhm,
going to start to get insights and vision in regards to your life based on the information that you're getting. So you may read a
Mm-hmm.
particular paragraph and all of a sudden your mind starts to open up in regards to possibilities and things that you can accomplish or things that you can work on, as an individual. Well, next to that paragraph, I would put a goal. What is my goal based on what I just learned from that? What is my takeaway?
Mm-hmm.
What is my call to action? What am I going to do with this information that I just got? So I'll put that at the margin of it. I'll underline the particular area that jumped out at me. And what I find to be
Mm-hmm.
so great, Roosevelt, is going back to that book, like I often do in the book club, to the Purpose Driven Life. That's a book that we read every year at the beginning of the year, because it's great for one to either revisit their purpose, come into knowledge of their purpose. So the Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren is a yearly book that we read in the book club. So when you underline and you go back at another season and read that very same book, it's beautiful to see how you mature or what your insights were back then to what it is
Hmm.
now. So
What I get from what
underlining
you
and
said is that you grow and you grow with the book. So that means
yes,
I could have read Rick Warren, The Purpose Driven Life, or a book, How to Influence and Influence People, from Dale Carnegie for the last, when I was 21.
yes.
But now, in my 50s, being 56 today,
Mhm,
I have gone through some experiences through life that
mhm.
will put me in a position to see how to influence and influence people, or requires the purpose driven life in more breadth than I
Ab-
saw with my little mind frame at 21. Is that
21.
what you mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. You grow with the book and you appreciate the growth.
Hmm.
You look back and you see what your mindset was like then and what it is now. It's just a measure of your growth and it's appreciation. It's appreciation of the journey
Hmm.
that you have traveled so far. Yes. And the big insight also
It's
about
so
not
easy
only
to read.
underlining.
Go ahead.
Now, I was saying, in addition to
I was
underlining and
saying,
highlighting a particular,
mhm. Now,
I'm not, can
do
you hear
you
me?
have book reports? Do you write? Do you have a blog? Do you have a
Internet
blog?
connection. Okay, so
How do you report about your reading?
okay, wonderful. I mentioned earlier that we do a book review every other month. So I do it verbally. Usually when we would be gathering together in a group, then each individual would come up and share what they have gathered from their book throughout the time of reading. However, now that we're not gathering, when I do a Facebook Live, I'm pulling different nuggets from the books that we have read. And then I'll also have book club members to submit insights that they have gotten and how the book have impacted
Hmm.
them. And then I'm able to share it on a whole for that book review. So if we're in person, each person from different age group can come to the front and share how the book have impacted them. But now that we're not able to gather, they can either join me Facebook Live, they can submit the information to me in written, audio, or video format, and then I'll incorporate it in the one review that I present on Facebook Live.
Your next step, will you write
Mhm.
books or are you writing
Yes,
books?
I'm in the process of writing too. I am in the process of writing too. I am actually surprised, Roosevelt, to be honest, that I haven't written a book as yet. And I wouldn't say haven't written it as yet, haven't published it as yet, because I've been writing. I think I have so much
Mhm.
that I want to write about that it's putting me in the procrastinating state. But I am moving forward. I'm working on two projects right now, one for youths and one is a topical book that I'm working on
Mhm.
getting finished up right now. So absolutely, you can look forward to those coming out soon.
This is amazing. Not only now you are a consumer of words, but also
Yes,
you put yourself as a producer, your own
yes,
content. And at the end of the day,
yes.
that is the legacy that you are living. And that is the power of using words for your own seeking of wisdom, but also for your own sharing your stories to the main result as well. And this give me an opportunity to share with you what we intend to do with that Leaders Book Club. The idea
Yes.
came because we need to do something. I enjoy reading books, and I've been following a couple of book clubs, virtual book clubs, and you came to my mind at the very same moment that you reached out to me as well. It seems to me there is some telepathy since
Connection.
the word tele, work, telecommuting, but also telepathy today. That means our minds are connecting. Even if
Yes.
we do not see someone, the ideas that we are producing are also gathering ideas from some other minds. And that's why there is a mastermind, virtual mastermind. It is there when you are producing something. And that
Yes.
club is not about reading per se, it's about doing something together. Let's do something together. Let's have a conversation. Sometimes I will be interviewing authors about their books. I will be
Mhm.
inviting readers to tell us their thoughts, what they read about. It will be a multiple, and sometimes it will be just about our impression of new literature, fiction, and so forth. We need to do something together and also to fill the gap about good content
Mhm.
on the social media sphere right there. So when will be your next book club? And you mentioned that people, my friends, can contact you at your phone number, which is on your screen right here, 754-245-4574. And my guest today, Dorothy, to help me launch the Leaders Book Club. And now we will ask you about your Toastmasters experience. Then we talk about your business experience and how we can add value to you and how we can share what you do with my community right there. We met at a Toastmasters meeting, and Toastmasters is a bridge putting us together. Why Toastmasters for you?
It's amazing. It's amazing what reading can do. Would you believe it, Roosevelt? You perhaps have heard me spoke at that meeting maybe 5 years ago at Club Awesome Toastmasters in Coral Springs, Florida. I learned about
Mm,
Toastmasters as a result of seeking a individual or organization to help my book club members. Remember, I mentioned that
mm,
at book reviews, usually we would read on our own time. And then when we come to the book review, we would gather in a room and come in the front of the room and share what we have learned from the book and how it has impacted our lives. I found then that a lot of the book club members, no matter how infused they were throughout the month of reading or 2 months of reading, based on what they would share in the WhatsApp, what they would share via email or even a phone call, when they would call and say, Dorrit, this book is so good, when they would get to the book review to share in front of the group,
mm,
they were
mm,
very
mm,
timid, they were shy. And I figured, no, this cannot happen. We need someone to help us with public speaking skills. On a visit to the
mm.
library, again, one of my favorite places, I went to the library and that's where I found a flyer. David Carr, the president of Club Awesome back then, had left some flyers in the library inviting people to Club Awesome. I was enthused. I called immediately. That was a Thursday. And he invited me to the meeting the Friday. That perhaps was the meeting that I met you at. Because I know as I
Yes.
introduced myself, I spoke about the book club and how enthused I was about it. So I went to the Toastmasters group the following day. I was amazed to know that I lived 5 minutes from Toastmasters. I never knew anything about this worldwide organization all this time. Went to that meeting. I had Sean Walker, who we're friends, mutual friends with. He came out to the book club and he helped our
Very good
group.
friend.
Yes. And he helped us, gave us some tips in regards to public speaking. And I never left Toastmasters ever since. So I initially started as a result of getting some help for our book club members. And I end up being helped myself to a whole nother dimension. Toastmasters have
Mm.
been so beneficial to me. Like you and I
But
know, it helps us.
not only you are you are sharing your Toastmasters experience, but Dorothy, you are an outstanding Toastmaster.
Thank you.
You are a moving speaker. Your ability to stand on your own 2 feet and bring words and telling your stories. You have won a couple of contests. And
Yes,
now let my community, my Leaders Book Club members, those following us now,
yes.
why is it important to have an opportunity to express yourself with words publicly? Why public speaking matters? Why
It's
Toastmasters?
it's all about communication. We all can improve on being able to communicate more effectively. No matter
Mm-hmm,
how much we might think that we're individuals of words, we not only communicate verbally, we communicate through body language, we communicate through eye contact. I wasn't a shy person when I sought out Toastmasters. I think I probably have the gift
really?
of gab. No, no, I was not a shy person at all. Remember, my initial reason was to help my book club members to have that confidence to stand in front of the group. However, I found that even though I was not a shy person, Toastmasters have opened up a world for improvement for me. I never knew anything about body language. I never knew anything about eye contact. I never knew anything about different areas of leadership that I got exposed to
Mm-hmm,
through Toastmasters. So, Toastmasters have opened up doors that I never even knew were closed and
mm-hmm.
have given me the opportunity to improve. So, absolutely, Toastmasters have been very instrumental in helping me to communicate effectively because it helps me to realize that it's not about only the words that I speak verbally, but it's being able to communicate whatever message that I'm attempting to communicate that can go directly to the heart and the decision making of those that will hear.
And now you say it, not only today we need to communicate via Zoom, we zooming.
Yes.
And those are
And yes,
new ways, and this is the new normal. And now you
so
need to look at you. Your lightning is well set, the way you behave, you are well crafted into your screen. All of those we have to learn.
yes,
And that means this is continuing education all the
it
time,
is.
all the
It
time.
is. Mhm.
And that will help me to make a segue to our next step. Not only Toastmasters is about public speaking, also this is where leaders are made. This is where we develop our own leadership ability and a networking opportunity that helps you to meet people. And you are in business, that gives you an opportunity also to meet people for business, for leisure, and also for networking, Doetkin.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have been an associate with Legal Shield for over 10
Mm-hmm,
years now,
mm-hmm,
providing legal and identity theft protection,
mm-hmm,
not only to individuals in the US, but in
mm-hmm,
Canada and also in England. Remember, I
mm-hmm,
made mention earlier my passion concerning individual rights from I was
mm-hmm.
working at the courthouse. It's just a part of my makeup. So when I came in contact with Legal Shield, that gives people access to their rights. It's one thing to know your rights, but not having access to representation is a total different ball game. So Legal
Mm-hmm.
Shield basically levels the playing field. For one flat monthly fee, you and your family have access to attorneys, throughout the entire United States. So that's one area of business that I have been able to help people in while gaining
Mm-hmm.
financially from it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Toastmasters helps because you need to be able to communicate what that vision is, that it's not necessarily just a protection, but it's an
Mm-hmm.
empowerment when you have the service. And you need to be able to communicate with people from all different backgrounds concerning that. So that's
Or
one
being a
area.
business person, being a businesswoman, with all the tools that you have the tools, you are gifted with words, you can flow words, 1,000 words per second. I will say, I will put it that way. You can reflect, you can pause, you can ponder as well, and
Yes,
you have that variety of ability of expressing yourself, and also you have the wisdom because you seek it, and you seek
yes,
and you find, you knock, and doors will
Yes.
be opened. And also now you are in business. And I would like to thank you, Dorothy,
Yes.
first for your time, and second to set an example of what friendship can bring. With some friends, you started a book club. It was while you were having lunch every single week or every single day, you were reading together, eating together, and sharing the words together. And you brought that discovery with you. And today, from day
Yes.
one, that journey is still, and in that coronavirus moment, in that COVID-19
Yes.
moment, now you are helping young folks,
Yes.
youths, to find the power of words into their own. And of course, you also bring more than words. You also have a family.
Yes.
You also set the example, because if you can sit in one place and your kids see you reading, what does
Yes.
that mean? That means they can exemplify. They have a
Mm-hmm.
role model. There's someone to follow. And now, what is your next step?
I wanted to quickly introduce you to my husband's book, which I will ensure that you get a signed copy, Roosevelt, for your
Thank you.
birthday.
I appreciate it. Thank you in
Yes,
advance.
yes, I'll absolutely ask him to make sure that he does a signed copy for you. It's called The Most Powerful Book, forwarded by Dr. Miles Monroe. You
Oh,
Were
yeah.
Created to Rule. You Were
Mm.
Created to Rule by author Fabian D. Keen. So I'll ensure that you get a copy of this personally for you. And my next step is
And we
just
will read it.
basically to
And we will
continue.
read it right here with our friends. Because Miles
Yes.
Monroe has a couple of books that maybe I have to look for. I think I have them. And I'm pretty sure they are here. I will find them, and
Yes.
we will share on that. But that won't be the last conversation that we have, because you are a deep well. We have to dig profoundly to really touch at least the surface of
Yes.
your knowledgeable ability to share with us. But one thing that I
Yes.
appreciate is, first, the way that you take reading very seriously. And now
Yes.
it seems to me, reading is part of your personal and professional life,
It is.
spiritual life. You read in a very diverse background that gives you breadth. And as well, having a book club puts in your mind the opportunity to have reading at the forefront of what you do. Dorothy King, this is my pleasure. Thank you for sharing the time this time with us, and I can't wait for you to be our guest again. And I wish you to have an outstanding rest of your day and outstanding rest of your week. And you be well, you stay healthy, you make money, and this is being wealthy. And also, you make a difference in others. That means you keep being wise. I want you to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Unmute
Thank you
yourself.
so much.
Okay, can you repeat what you said?
Yes.
Because
I
we
wanted,
lost a couple of words. Yes.
no problem. Sorry about that. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
address your question real quick in regards to what's my next step in regards to this journey of reading. And I quickly introduced you to my husband's book, You Were Created to Rule, forwarded by Dr. Miles Monroe. And I alluded to let you know that we have a program. It is called Positively Impacting Lives with Dorrit Keene. And we come on every Sunday evening at 5. And we discuss different books. We just got through discussing Reduce Me to Love by Joyce
Mm,
Myers. And the book that we're currently reading in the book club, How to Succeed at Being Yourself. But going forward into this particular month, my husband and I, we're going to be coming on Sunday evenings at 5 under the book club's page, Positively Impacting Lives with Dorit Keene. And we're going to be pulling nuggets from this particular book. So that's the next project that I'm working on right now, to interview him and to pull some nuggets from this book, because we need our society to realize that no matter the season that we're in, we were created to rule. We have dominion, we have authority over our situation that we're facing right now, and we will overcome. So we're going to be working on that project going forward. This coming Sunday, we're going to be celebrating Mother's Day through Positively
Happy Mother's
Impacting
Day.
Life's page. Thank you. And I want to wish your wife the same. And to everyone that's watching who is a mom, to your mom, I want to wish you guys happy Mother's Day also. And Roosevelt, I must, in conclusion, congratulate you. I always know that you're an individual that really enjoy empowering others. But when you mentioned about this new embarkment of starting a book club, you know I rejoiced, right? I absolutely
Yes.
rejoiced. And so I congratulate you, and I'll continue to pray for you. And however I can be of service, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I know this is going to do great. And I know you're going to impact a lot of lives as a result of this group that you're starting. So again, I want to thank you for having me.
Rest assured that I will continue to knock to your
Yes.
door. And today is the day. Let's rejoice. Once again, this is my conversation with Doretta King, starting this book club, the Leaders Book Club. It will be coming every Friday at the
Yes.
same time, around 11 to 12. And the most important part of it, it is recorded and you can watch it at your leisure time. But the most important part is to get back to us. Share what you like, share this, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and share this content with your friends, with your family, with your acquaintances, and on your social media platform as well. Once again, my name is Roosevelt Jean-Francois, and I wish you to have an outstanding day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Happy birthday, Roosevelt.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Now we are off, and I thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me make sure that we are still live on Facebook. Let me make sure that I end this meeting and the sharing.